Okay. I think we're good. So, as I was saying, this tabletop RPG club I helped formed at my university. Immediately, right from the get-go, there were a lot of people that wanted to do a lot of campaigns. It was a huge start, very exciting. And one of the campaigns I joined was the brainchild of this awesome Ross dude. He is another friend of his, Jordan, and they co-DM'd like a campaign with two parties. One campaign, two parties. They were adversarial, and we, the hunters, were pursuing them, the gifted. Occasionally we would go off on side adventures. Actually, most of the time we would go off on side adventures, but occasionally we would meet. And in one of those such meetings, in fact our first big one, there were, I think there were 19 people there if you include the two DMs around one table.
Shit.
And it was as clusterfucky as you could possibly imagine. If both of the parties were more in sync with themselves, if there wasn't as much contested stuff going on within both the parties, it might be smooth. It might have been smoother, but there was infighting in both parties. So that, two parties, like 8 people in each, maybe more, and then 2 DMs having to manage this encounter with a bunch of NPCs, some of which had godlike powers. It was a clusterfuck. The full story went something like this. We walked up to a portal in the middle of the woods outside of town after pursuing some gifted, that's the word for the spellcasters. Long story short, the entire world was pretty much, if you were a spellcaster and you didn't have a license for that spellcasting, then you were going to get hunted down. Some of us, the hunters, had licenses. Others of us were just martial, non-spellcasting mage hunters. Anyways, so we followed some magical users out of the town. We found this portal. It turned out to be an illusion. There was a log cabin inside this portal, with no cover around it, mind you. It was just an open field. So, my character, my wizard character, Charles, the most venerable of the party, sticks his head in and is kind of like, maybe we should take this slow. One problem. In real life, 18 people at the table all talking, you really got to emphasize. You got to call your shots when you want something to actually be heard. So you only get, let's say, 4 or 5 people can actually hear me tokens that you get to use per session like this. So I didn't use my token for that quite yet. I didn't scream it across the table and get everyone to hear me. And because of that, everyone in my party, the very honorable but dumb barbarian, or blood hunter rather, so it was like a sorcerer, self-sacrificial barbarian, walked up to the cabin with the gifted, and they did a lot of stuff. I'd have to describe a lot of the backstory about the campaign to make it too detailed, but in short, they offered him a cursed apple, and all this other stuff was going on, but he took a bite out of it. So that was one of the bad things that happened. Second bad thing that happened was, it turns out there was somebody in the window, and mind you, it's a high fantasy campaign, but this guy had a straight up gun. He was an artificer, and there was only one artificer in like the entire continent. And Charles knew this artificer was somebody that personally wanted to kill him. So he fired a air quotes warning shot. It was a shot to kill, but he missed. And then he paused. So Charles was a little on edge per se.
Posted.
So yeah, just to speed it up quick, we had a kind of adversarial party member in the hunter's party, this cat boy named Alex Necromancer. What a dumb name. And they literally walked into the cabin, and then out of the corner of his vision, Charles sees a silhouette inside the cabin's door, and then he hears somebody casually mention the name of that silhouette, and they said Elim, and Elim is the name of the big baddie that our organization, the guild, had been hunting for many moons. So Charles, needing to take control of this situation instantly, and being a wizard, and all the people he wanted to kill being in a cabin made out of wood, guess what he did?
Fireball.
He casted Fireball. I had just gotten it. I was like level 4 or something, or level 5. I just got that spell. First time I got to use it was pointing my fingers at the window of that fucking sniper that shot at me and being like, fuck you! Big fireball. And right, because the artificer had readied an action to shoot me in the chest, and he did, and Charles went down to 2 HP instantly from getting shot in the chest by the artificer, but he got a fireball off. And the rest of the encounter went like this. The artificer who really wanted to kill me it was just, they were shooting around, there were shatter spells being cast at us, and we had no cover. Thankfully, normally this would not be thankful, but thankfully this time, the artificer had an entire bag of 4 speeds, which is normally, 2d4 damage, you throw one of them, except he had like 30 of them in a bag. So he just threw the bag at us, and the dungeon master said it would have done the full damage of every 4 speed if it hit me and the bard, which was, enough damage, even if every single die rolled 1, to turn me, like, instant kill, the massive damage rule, it would have instantly killed Charles and turned him into vapor, so he wouldn't have been resurrected anytime soon either. Thankfully, both me and the bard made our reflex saves, so we took 0 damage instead. And also thankfully, and why I said thankful from the start, the massive bag of 4 speeds made a crater 15 feet deep that we could use as cover for the rest of the encounter, and we did. And eventually shit got worse and worse, and there were NPCs coming out of the woodworks that were all against us, and our ranger had turned into a pit fiend for some reason because he got a possessed sword and he was killing everybody. So most of us jumped into this pit, and shatter spells were being cast on us, so we were still taking damage even though we had cover. And then I hold up what looks to be a white flag. The artificer, of course, shoots it, but it was all I needed. It was actually not a white flag, though I kind of wanted it to look like it so they'd leave us the fuck alone. It was actually a piece of paper and Charles's backstory is that he's a wizard, but since he fucked it up when he was a kid, he actually got put on office work for 20 years, so his backstory is office worker more than wizard. It was a piece of paper from the office back at home. He was using it as a teleport focus, so he could teleport the whole party because he got a magical item that gave him teleport a few times a day. Very, very powerful. He was going to teleport everyone back to Guild HQ. Last second. And by the way, he tried to try it twice because there was an invisible demi-goddess above the battlefield that literally cast counterspell the first time he did it, and he just thought he fucked it up in character, so he tried it again. Second time it worked, but even though he had struggled this whole encounter to make eye contact with everyone, but one of the other PCs, one of the other barbarians, there were 2 barbarians, the Blood Hunter and the Barbarian. She didn't make eye contact, so we were like leaving her behind. And everyone else in the party, how teleport works is I have to be able to make line of sight to them, and then they have to mentally choose to come. It's like a pop-up window in their head, like, do you want to teleport? Yes, no. Everyone was saying yeah, but then last second, every single person but me said no. And it was all because they didn't want to leave Barbarian behind. And that's it. That's the story.
I was going to say, was it pop-up with, like, Clippy? And he's like, looks like you're trying to teleport. Would you like help with that?
Basically.
Yes.
Basically. They all closed it instantly. They all thought it was a messy pop-up, so they didn't do it. And Charles was the only one that teleported back. And he had instantly convinced himself that he fucked up the spell and killed everyone but himself, and they were all lost in the astral plane. So he felt bad for a while, and then eventually found the party, and it's a long campaign. There's a lot of stories, but that was one encounter.
Bob, what are you doing in here?
Wants to listen.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I think we're all ready to go. Gothel's check-in.
Yep.
Wales check-in.
Howdy, hey.
Techniker check-in.
Good to go.
Llama check-in.
I'm not here.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. We don't need Llama anyways. All right. So, just to make sure everybody sees the rectangular room, right, with your 4 characters in it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you read the description on the main page of this game, you know that the reason the 4 of you have gathered here today is because Baron Cross has a bit of a undead problem. Zombies have been attacking his town for the past few months, and he needs adventurers to go do something about it. One of his scouts found what he believes to be the necromancer's lair, and he hands one of you a map. It doesn't really matter who. He hands you a map showing the way to the necromancer's lair. There's a reward of like 100 gold pieces for each of you or whatever at the end of it. But then he he leaves the table open to any particular questions you might have about this mission, about the necromancer, or anything else like that.
Grok has question.
Go ahead, Grok.
Grok, this map have compass?
I can say you have a physical compass on you, and the map shows like which way is north. Yes.
Okay.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your necromancer problem? Like, is he stealing people from the town and taking them? What? I'm just trying to figure out what he's trying to do. Like,
Baron Cross nods and explains that at first the attacks just seemed to be sort of probing, like a dozen zombies would encroach on farmland out in the distance. But as time has gone on, it started to be like a few dozen zombies like making their way towards the main town. They don't seem to have any particular goal in mind. They just seem to be like sowing chaos and destruction, and Cross isn't entirely sure what the necromancer's motivation is.
alrighty.
Grok understands dark magics are at work here, and Grok reviles them. Such unholy abominations cannot be allowed to exist, Grok think.
Very true, Grok, very true. And you'll be doing a great service to Baron Cross's town at the same time. And will be well rewarded.
Don't care much about the service. I just am here for the gold.
I need more booze.
Baron Cross offers, tells Tolvir that he'll tell the innkeeper to give Tolvir free booze if he comes back successful. Baron Cross asks if any of you have any other questions before you set out.
Grok just crosses his arms. He looks good to go.
And this is pretty squared away.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Let's kill the necromancer.
Alright, so first things first, I want one of you to, I want you to decide as a collective, one of you needs to roll to navigate with the map. So just like find a cliche you think will work well for navigating a map, and then roll with that. And tell me like which one you're rolling with.
So Grok's
Hey,
holding
that's
the
gonna
map,
be a no
and
for me.
he holds it up to all you guys, and looking at it and then looking to you guys, he asks, "Any you good at reading map?"
I mean, I'm a soldier, so I'm assuming that I know land nav of some kind. I guess I could use soldier for that as my cliche, right?
Yeah,
Sounds good
that
enough
sounds
to me.
fair.
I would argue that is an appropriate cliche to navigate. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Grok
So
shoves the map in your chest.
Thank you, Grok. I appreciate it.
Okay.
How many times am I going to accidentally call him Grug? It's Grok. I gotta get it right.
Grog. It's all the same. But yeah, so just go ahead and roll 3d6 and roll 20. We'll see. Ooh!
It's very poor.
Ooh.
Very poor. Very poor. Okay, so let's see if I can select all of you and drag you with. Okay, so you set out, but unfortunately, the map that Baron Cross gave you, his scout apparently is very bad at drawing and giving directions, and you end up wandering through the forests outside of town for a few hours, clearly very, very lost. Eventually, though, you do spot a clearing up ahead, and the four of you stumble through it.
This is literally the worst map I've ever followed in my life.
Oh, not so bad. Let Grok see map. Grok extends his hand.
Okay, I hand the map over to you.
Grok is looking at it, but it's clearly upside down while he's holding it.
You're doing a good job, Grok.
Nobody corrects him. Yeah, Grok just looks inquisitively at it for a few minutes then. Are we... So this what we got going on right here, we entered into a clearing and there are people here, right?
Yes. Do you see any of their nameplates?
I do not,
No.
but I see the people.
Oh my god.
I can
Nameplate wise, I
only see-
only see my character.
Yeah.
Samesies.
Okay, hold on.
Samesies.
Just for reference, they're not people, they're goblins. The four of you stumbled into a goblin camp. That's how bad the directions were.
Well, surely they're friendly goblins.
Give me your
They know from
grog.
experience. They don't always seem so friendly. I'm assuming we would have introduced each other by name, at least by now, walking through the forest for a few hours.
Yeah.
Had any of you over this time perhaps asked motivations why any of us are here? Or, I mean, most of you are soldiers. 3 of you are soldiers. So I wouldn't put it past you guys to just grunt and walk forward.
I'm not a soldier.
If I'm not drunk, I'm angry.
Oh yeah, Techniker's character is more
Yeah,
of
I'm a scientist, man.
Wizard. Yeah.
Mad scientist.
Is the man scientist curious about any of the other members of his party? Perchance?
Yeah. Well, we kind of already know the 2 soldiers' background, but we don't know the, was it,
Grok.
Priest Brarian's background.
Grok proselytized nearby town. Make many people convert to his religion. Improve many
What
lives.
even is Grok's religion?
Yeah,
I know he's a priest.
Who does Grok
but...
worship?
Grok, if you had asked him in real time, Grok would have paused at that and considered it for a moment. And rubbed his chin a little bit. Grok worship best god.
I see.
Alright.
Does best god have a name so that others may worship him?
Best god name, God.
Appropriate.
Grok is clearly a Roman Catholic.
Okay, do any of you see any nameplates?
I see
Yeah,
all
I see
nameplates.
Yeah, I got all them all.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
That's annoying. I'm gonna have to manually give you access. But okay, is there any other like banter you want before we move you into this properly?
I'm good.
Yeah, I was listening to their conversation, and I said, I'm obviously looking pretty skeptically at Grok. Say,
And that's the captain, right? Yeah, Llama's
yeah,
the
Captain,
Okay.
right? You would have seen
Grok
half
wouldn't
the
have paid you any mind if it was just a glance.
No, I say if you would have seen half the shit that I seen, you wouldn't believe in God. And then I stare off into the distance with the 10,000-yard stare.
Okay. So just as a warning, I have no idea how this combat session is going to go. I don't remember anything about Rice's combat balance. So I will fudge
YOLO.
things if necessary to make sure you don't get obliterated.
Kill us.
No, dying is fun.
Yeah. Especially going out like wailing on shit.
Regardless, though, so you get lost in the forest for a few hours. You find a clearing, you stumble through, and there's a bunch of goblins over a cooking pot set on a fire. They're arguing with one another, apparently over who's going to get to eat first. But as the 4 stooges come out of the forest, they all turn to look at you, and one that seems very elite, he has kind of like a bone headdress on. He screams something in Goblinoid, and they turn on you for violence.
So, like, they draw weapons and they start approaching us?
Yes, that is correct.
Oh shit, hit the music.
Uh-oh, battle tracks.
So initiative. Risus normally says go around the table. We obviously don't have a table. So if the four of you can just like roll your highest dice.
Sure. Oh, Grok, what are you doing?
Alright, so
You want to roll again for Tovir real quick to break the tie?
oh yeah, Techniker and Tolvir need to roll
Okay.
again.
I would have laughed if we got the same number again.
I know there's an initiative order thing somewhere here in Roll20, but I can't remember where to find it.
So I
So
think
Top
it's
left.
on the top left, and you have to drag people into it? I don't really remember. But it would be Techniker and then Captain. Or Techniker and then the NPCs and then Captain. And then Tovir and Grok goes last.
Right click on token, add a turn.
yeah. Okay, I don't think it matters too much because we don't have too many NPCs. I'm doing all the NPCs at once. So would it? Okay. The way I'm seeing it is it's whale, NPCs, captain, Tolvir, Techniker, or
Yeah. I
because the
think so.
second roll was just for tiebreak, right?
Yeah.
Wait, is it low to roll? Do you want to go low or do you want to go high for initiative? Because if you want to go high, I think Grok or my character from Whale is the last.
Rock, NPCs, Captain.
Wait, no, I got a 12. What am I doing?
Highest
no,
to lowest, yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
guarded.
okay.
You got a 15, didn't you? No, you got a
I got a
12.
12. 15 was just to break the tie with Tovir, and I thought there was a tie. I'm I got a 12. I got a 12.
Okay, yes. Okay, so Grok, it is your turn in combat. The goblins are clearly very hostile. You can attempt to dissuade them, of course. I'm not going to stop you from that, but they do not look very friendly.
Grok does not particularly enjoy the company of goblins, but nevertheless, as he walks out of the edge of the forest into the open clearing, he does not have his bone club in two hands, he's just holding it to his mouth, actually. And using it like a megaphone, he asks the goblins to kindly put their arms down, or be forcibly converted to the religion of Grok.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and roll. Yeah, go ahead and roll your. I'm gonna say your priest. Go ahead and
Four it
roll
is.
priest.
14, not that great.
Your
Actually,
priest
it's
is
average.
3.
Oh, priest is 3? Yeah, I don't even know
Yeah.
my own dice. Okay.
It's fine.
It's 11.
What is the
Okay.
what's the format you're typing to roll dice?
2
'Cause I'm
brackets
just-
on either side of a normal 1d6 call. I don't know how to escape it, but it's just left bracket, 1d6, right bracket. That's the inline rolls. I like them because they're not so fat. And I use the 3D rolls because 3D rolls are for real OGs.
Okay, so I'm not gonna have them roll to resist or whatever, but I'm just gonna say that all the goblins kind of look at one another, before looking back
Doesn't
at you
look.
and just kind of shrugging.
You gotta type roll.
They're not dissuaded. Damn.
Do I need to type /roll for it to work?
Nope. It's just. It looks like. Yeah. How Brain is doing it right now.
I can't type the N double brackets, but like what I put in TeamSpeak chat.
Okay.
All right, NPCs turns. Okay.
They're gonna kick my ass.
So this Goblin Warrior is going to go over and attack Viz. And just so you're aware, the tiles, locations, it doesn't matter. It's just I'm moving it around for clarity's sake. So Viz, go ahead and roll whatever combat cliche you feel is most appropriate. Which I assume in your case would be wizard.
Yeah, probably. Oof.
No, you have, it's 46.
It is. You are correct. I am.
You rolled a
Dumb.
24.
Yes, I did.
I was looking at that and I'm like, that's not right. Okay, so you succeed, obviously. Go ahead and describe that if you want. Like, the Goblin Warrior takes a swing at you, and Viz counterattacks with...
Viz throws up a wall of force between him and the goblin's weapon, and the goblin kind of bounces back off of it and hyperextends his shoulder a little bit.
Yep. So, the Goblin Warrior is now down to 1 cliche dice. Then the other Goblin Warrior is going to go up to Captain, try the same thing. Go ahead and do your thing, Captain.
Yep, doing it.
Alright.
So Captain parries his attack with his longsword. Disdainfully too, by the way.
Disdainfully. Okay, Goblin Hunter number 1 is going to attack Tolvir.
I got 46. Am I able to move in this counter?
Yeah, don't. You can move anytime you want.
So this Goblin Hunter is shooting at me, I assume?
Yes.
Tolvir lays on the ground and stands, just pops right back up.
Does he counterattack? He counterattacks, right?
Yeah, and he rushes and shoulder charges the Goblin Hunter.
Alright. You hit him square in the chest and he screams in pain. And then this last Goblin Hunter is going to attack Grok.
Come at Grok.
He double crit, so I sure hope he can roll high.
Can I use inappropriate dice on defense or only attacking?
You can use inappropriate dice whenever.
Okay, I'm gonna try and use inappropriate dice with the Barian part of the Priest Barian, which is knowledge, and he's going to attempt to know goblin attack patterns, or recall them from memory, enough to at least dodge out of the way.
I would say that is not an inappropriate cliche. I would say that is an appropriate use of a otherwise non-combat cliche.
Okay. Then I'll just roll 46 then. Oh, fuck
Alright. Alright, you win the clash, and you can describe the counterattack if you wish.
Grok effortlessly reads the goblin's attack, sidesteps out of the way, making it fall, and baps it on the back of the neck with his bone club before it can get up.
Bap! Alright, so next we have the Goblin Shaman and the Hobgoblin. The Goblin Shaman is going to attempt to heal the Goblin Warrior by Viz. And he fails. A burst of like green energy comes out and tries to heal the Goblin Warrior, but it just kind of flickers in the air and dissipates, and the Goblin Warrior is still looking pretty wounded. The Hobgoblin is going to move up and attack Captain. He's going to charge in. Alright, Captain, good. Yep, that works.
Then can I counterattack?
If you win the roll against their attack, you automatically deal damage.
Okay.
Whoever loses the roll takes damage, no matter what the situation.
Okay. So I sidestepped and then sliced at his hamstrings as he passed.
Ouchie. Youch.
He growls in pain and he looks very angrily at you, like he wants to crush your puny human skull. Anyways, next up is Captain's turn. Captain's proper turn.
All right. So I'm actually like he passed me, right? So I'm. Can I do that?
Yeah.
I sidestepped. He passed me. How do I turn my guy? I'm gonna turn around.
There's a
shift drag.
Bam.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to stab him right through the back. Yeah, that's not good.
Thankfully, he's only at 2 dice now, so you might be okay. You're not okay.
Nope.
Okay, so you take 1 cliche dice damage to your warrior. So just keep that in mind as we go forward. I don't know if you want to note it down somewhere.
So I can only roll like 3d6 for warrior now?
Yes, that's correct.
I gotcha. Okay. I grunt and I say I'm getting too old for this shit.
And then next up is Tolvir, our little dwarf barbarian.
Tolvira wants to pick up the Goblin Hunter and throw him onto the fire.
Go right ahead.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That succeeds because I'm pretty sure he can't reach 13 at 1d6.
Oh my god, when they're low on dice, you can just bully them.
So, yes, Tolvir, you successfully pick up the Goblin Hunter, throw him into the fire. He screams a little bit, but goes quiet as flames start to consume his body and the smell of burning goblin fills the clearing.
Ah!
And then it's, Viz, right? Yes, Viz.
Yep. And so this is gonna trying to cast a Ray of Sickness on the Goblin Shaman in the back there.
Oh no.
Okay, so the Ray of Sickness darts towards the Goblin Shaman, but then he mutters some stuff, waves his wand around, and he reflects it right back at you. And you take 1 damage to your wizard cliche. Alright, Grok, you go ahead.
So having bapped the Goblin Hunter on the back of the skull, I'm clearly having him slightly out of it now. He attempts to grab the goblin hunter by the back of his head with one hand, Grok being very tall and green and angry, and slam him onto the ground to make a little bit of a crater out of him.
Oh my god. You people are vicious.
Hey, Grok gave them chance.
Rock did
Goblin
give them a chance.
smash.
Crit fail and a crit success.
Alright, Boyo's dead. His head makes a little splat sound as it hits the ground. Oh no, Boyo! Shut up. Oh my god. Anyways, okay, so moving on, it's the NPC's turns now. So Captain's about to get bullied a little bit.
That's what the goblins think.
The hobgoblin thwaps at you with his sword. And remember, if you use... Oh!
Oh no,
Hey,
no,
don't
no.
you have? Aren't you lucky?
Oof. Yeah, but I only
Aren't you
get
lucky?
one. I only get one dice for lucky. So. Big oof right there.
That's a 1d6. You can get up to 10.
I can't add that, right?
No, you just gotta pick,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, look. I think it's before the roll. Let me check. Some of them, the single can sit by...
That's all right. It's fine. My rolls are my rolls this time, but I guess
Okay.
find out if I can add it for the next time. I guess.
Yeah. It doesn't say before or after the roll, so I'm going to say either.
Can you combine cliches?
I don't think there's anything in here that says anything like that. I will say, well, okay. Let me think.
Oh, there's a team up thing.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
team
there's
up
a team
thing.
up thing.
That's for multiple people, though.
Yeah.
It's fine. I just got fucked on by the hobgoblin. It's all good.
I will say, in terms of combining dice, you can combine dice, but if it's a situation where you would lose dice, you will lose the dice from both cliches.
Okay, that sounds fair.
So if you wanted to combine your warrior and your soldier, you can do that, but if you fail, you're losing dice from both of them.
Okay.
Ooh.
Alright, so yeah, you take 1 damage. What did you roll your warrior or your soldier? It doesn't really matter. Either way.
It was warrior.
Okay, so you're at 2 warrior dice now. Hobgoblin just kind of laughs at you and restates the remark about crushing your puny human skull. And the goblin warrior attacks you next.
Big oof.
Yep, no luck there. So the goblin warrior is dead now.
Yeah. I look over the hobgoblin and I tell him he's next.
The hobgoblin sweats a little bit, but still stands his ground. I'm gonna move him there so he's not in a tree. So next is... Wow, you're chewing through these guys, aren't you? Right. The goblin warrior next to Viz attacks our pale elf shapeshifter Boyo. He's dead. He's dead. Never mind.
How do you counter?
As you
you
also
also
swing at me, my infected arm kind of just gets a scratch on him, and he just falls dead instantly.
The goblin shaman looks around very nervously, seeing how 2/3 of his pack have just been wiped out. And let me think about what he does here. I guess he will just go ahead and attack Tolvir. Alright, Tolvir, Goblin Shaman Boyo
Alright,
casts
I'm
a
gonna-
Ray of Frost at you.
I'm going to pump up, and being a drunkard with rage, since I'm not drunk right now, I'm going to use my 2 drunkard cliche dice and my 2 luck dice as well to pump up my warrior cliche to 8.
I believe you can do that, yes. I will allow you to do it for now since I'm not 100% on the rolls, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Yep, you you dodge the Ray of Frost and you get a successful counterattack in.
I run up to the side of the Goblin Shaman and with my hammer, I swing and smack him in the back of the head.
He goes face first into the fire, but he manages to scramble out okay. Alright, so next up is El Capitano.
I'm gonna Spartan kick the hobgoblin right in the chest and try and knock him back a little bit and give myself a little space.
Do you want that to just be like a regular attack? Nothing
Yeah.
special with it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's successful, I'll knock him back too.
Yeah. Well, that succeeds. I'm not even gonna roll because Hobgoblin only has 1 dice. You Spartan kick him, and he goes flying into the tree, and you're pretty sure you hear something snap, and he's not looking too good.
Yeah, I caved his chest in with my foot. That's what happened.
Alright, next up is Grok.
How many stand before Grok? Goblin, Shaman, and Hobgoblin. Yes.
Yes, Hobgoblin is at 1 dice, Goblin Shaman is at 3.
Grok attempt to smack Hobgoblin in shin with club hard enough to shatter it. Not club, but shin. And he will do this. Oh shit. The hell's he gonna attack with his club, huh? Let's see.
Half work.
Yeah. No, you know, breaking bones, mending bones. Maybe he knows exactly where the weakest part of the
Physiology.
bone is because he's a cleric. See, when I say it, it sounds like I'm bullshitting, so maybe that's not actually agreeable.
Risus is 100% about bullshit, so...
It's up to the GM.
What exactly, which cliche did you want to roll? Like, Varian?
Cleric.
Cleric? Yeah, cleric's fine.
Oof.
Okay, so that's I mean, the only thing that can happen
There's
if
a
he rolls a
chance.
6 is it's a tie.
I say go for it.
Yeah. He parries your club, but neither of you take any damage. He's just on his last legs, panting desperately. Right, Viz.
Viz is going to, seeing that Grok's attack was parried, he's going to run up and throw a bunch of chemicals together from his chemical kit and just splash it onto the Hobgoblin.
Oh fuck. Grok was about to say do it non-fatally,
attack.
but I don't know if there's a non-fatal way to splash chemicals on somebody.
That succeeds. You throw chemicals on his face and it just melts all the flesh away, and it's very, very horrible and brutal.
You read about this in your books, Grok?
Grok, no read nothing like this in books.
Alrighty then, so it's did I skip Tolvir? I'm sorry, Tolvir. Tolvir, it's your turn.
No, Tolvir went,
No, I countered.
didn't he? Oh,
He was
yeah,
defending,
you're
I
right.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Tolvir wants to swing at Goblin Shaman again with giant hammer.
You're starting to talk like Grok.
Your proselytizing is working.
The more he drinks, the better they can communicate.
All right. Oh, just barely. So,
From the
yep.
heavens, the hammer comes down on top of the goblin shaman's head.
He falls down flat onto the ground and scampers away, looking very desperate. Alright, so go ahead, Grok.
I think Grok just went. Really? Captain? Not Captain? I think it's Captain, maybe?
No,
No.
okay.
I think it got all out of order there.
I did. Oh my god. I'm
It's
sorry,
okay, you went
everybody.
NPCs, Tech, Tolvir, Captain.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yes.
Just
so
reverse
it's
it next
Goblin
time.
Shaman's turn now. So Goblin Shaman is gonna try to run the fuck away.
Ah!
So what I want is for the next person in line, who is definitely Captain, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So Captain, go ahead and if you would like to, you can roll to attack the Goblin Shaman, and if you fail, you won't take any damage. He'll just get away.
Okay, I'm gonna pull my dagger out of my boot and throw it at the fleeing goblin shaman.
Better not miss. I don't want to get hit.
So yeah, the knife kind of it embeds itself into the tent over here, but the Goblin Shaman starts to flee into the forest, and because he double crit, I'm gonna say he gets away for now.
Sounds fair.
All right, good job, everybody. You beat up a bunch of goblins. Okay. So is there anything that you would like to do in this goblin camp?
I'd like to
Well,
get
those
my
are the
dagger
weirdest-
back.
Those are the
Yes.
weirdest looking zombies I've ever seen.
If anyone doesn't
Tolvir-
look at Grog for a few minutes, Grok for a few minutes rather, you'd notice him later snacking on a goblin leg.
Does your religion support cannibalism, Grok?
Who's asking Grok? Voice in Grok head? Grok
Voice
say,
in Grok head, yes.
God?
Hey, there's
Grok
one
God,
on the,
is that
there's
you?
One on the, there's one on the
Grok
campfire
say
already
leg
for
must be
you.
delicious. Grok God would not require Grok to do self-sacrificial things, like
Oh,
not eat delicious goblin meat.
Grok, there's a goblin on the fire for you.
Yeah, that's where he took the leg. Grok is
Tolvir
not
is-
barbarian. Grok makes sure to eat well-cooked meat. Grok only
Like-
half orc, don't forget. Grok not some savage.
Talks like full orc.
This is gonna just start dissecting the hobgoblin to try and figure out what makes it a hob more than a goblin.
It's just corn.
Because
over-
it's bigger. That's why it's a hobgoblin. Because
Yeah, but he
it's
doesn't know
bigger.
this.
Can I look in this tent over here while I'm retrieving my dagger? See if there's anything
Yes.
inside?
You can, and there is something inside. So there are 4 health potions, and what health potions do is they can restore 1 cliché dice in combat. And speaking of, now that combat is over, you recover all of your cliché dice.
Alright, so I'll pick up the health potions and put them in my backpack.
Tolvir watches Captain pick up the potions and just glares at him.
This system is
Just,
very
just,
fun.
just do a slant.
It's not alcohol. Don't worry, dwarf. I would have shared with you if it was.
Prove
Grok
it.
hears the word alcohol and looks over derisively if anyone's paying attention to him.
Is Grok religion teetotaler religion?
Teetotaler religion? What? What?
Well, like anti-alcohol religion.
You don't know. Maybe you will find out.
That is a good point, Grok. But yeah, so the tent has 4 health potions, and And then there's not much else. You have the bedrolls. They're nasty and matted. The goblins just kind of have like clubs. The hobgoblin has a sword, but it's kind of rusted. And the goblin hunters have bows and shitty arrows, but that's all.
I'm gonna clean the goblin blood off my sword. And also, Captain's pretty upset with his performance during that battle. And,
Someone give Captain a hug.
Grok not in hugging range.
Like,
Where'd he run off to?
if anyone tries to give Captain a hug, he's just gonna glare at them and stare them down until they turn away.
cheer up, Buttercup.
Okay, so we all cleared a set off then.
Yes, unless there's something anybody else wants to do in here, which I doubt there is.
Okay, well,
Right,
Grok still has the map, I think. Yeah.
Yes. I'm not going to have you make another navigation roll. Damn, I didn't make a map for this. That's awkward. Either way, though, so you make your way back out, try to regain your bearings, try to follow the map, and luckily, silver linings and everything, the goblin camp actually happens to be very close to the rear entrance of the castle, which you find a ridge overlooking it, and you see that it's unguarded. There is a front entrance that has a few skeletons standing at it, but the back entrance to the necromancer's castle is just kind of sitting there, unguarded.
Well, what do you know? Grok always knew there is back passage.
Good work, Rock.
Was that the dwarf just like randomly screaming?
Laughing. The
Oh.
back passage joke.
I'm
Grok
sure
raises
has
an eyebrow at you. He's
many
like, what are you
passages."
laughing at, dwarf?
Dwarf makes humping motions.
Grok looks disgusted. That's not what he meant at all.
So, yes, are there any questions anybody has about the castle in particular, or are you just gonna... Like I said, there's two entrances. There's a front entrance, but it's guarded. So it's up to... I'm going to assume you want the back entrance, but I don't know.
So we walk out of the forest clearing, or we walk out of the forest edge, and before us is a big stone castle with a small kind of door entrance. Like it's just a normal door, or maybe a little plus sized.
Yeah, it's kind of like what servants would use to enter, but the door is just kind of like hanging on its hinges, not really acting as a door anymore. The castle in general is kind of crumbly. It looks like it's probably a few hundred years old. Probably nobody's lived there for a century or more. Perfect place for a necromancer to do his stuff, actually.
Is there any light coming from within the castle or the door?
There is no light. No, you don't see light sources anywhere.
What time
Can
of day
we
is it?
gauge the height?
Time of day, it's approximately like mid-afternoon.
Okay.
And what was that you, Biz? Did you say something?
Can we gauge like the height of the castle?
It's not like a super big castle. It's relatively small, actually, as far as castles go. It's there's like a main keep building, and that's about like 2 stories tall.
Okay.
There's a few parapets at the front entrance, but besides that, there's like some stables that have fallen apart, and not much else.
Does it smell like necromancy? Like, can we smell the smell of undead?
There is a definite stench of rotting bodies.
Smell that, boys? That's necromancy.
It smells pretty normal to me.
I forgot about your arm. I think that's what I was smelling.
Well, I suppose we should go in and see what's going on here.
Yeah, let's
Drock
slide
Let's
that back
not.
door.
sagely nods. Yeah, let's
knock.
forge on ahead.
Are you actually going to knock on the door hanging off its hinges?
No.
Only
said
polite.
Okay. So this is kind of a leading question, but as a group of adventuring mercenaries, heroes, sellswords, or whatever, would you attempt to locate the necromancer as quickly as possible, or would you scrounge around for whatever loot might be lying around?
I mean, I'm a
Frog is
very
very-
curious person.
The
One at a
castle's a
time.
couple hundred years old, so I don't think scrounging around would find us anything.
All right, that's fair. Anybody else?
I have a
And
quick
Biz is
question out of character.
pretty curious. He's gonna poke his head into any doors we pass along the way, but
Quick
since
question.
this is quick question. Since this is a simplified system, and I know earlier you were talking about initiative just going around the table, what if we just went in TeamSpeak order whenever we were in combat or prompted with a question, so we could all get a chance, or not all get a chance, but so we all make sure everybody chimes in.
That is a good point, Whale. So we would start with the llama and go from there.
Is it okay with you guys?
Yeah, it's fine with me. Captain just wants to kill the necromancer and get out of here and get his money. Could care
Alright.
less about exploring.
And
As long as
Whale,
Tolvir has booze.
Whale,
care.
did you have an opinion on exploring versus just getting the job done?
Well, if Techniker said his 2 cents already.
yeah, I mean, Biz is gonna poke his head around, but he's not gonna separate from the group. So he'll poke his head in doors as they pass, but he's not gonna go search around the entire castle on his own.
Grok is very goal-oriented.
All right. I'll just move you to the necromancer. There I go, spoiling everything. Because there was a side room, but this is actually taking longer than I thought, which is good in a way. So yeah, I'll just move us right along. So yeah, you explore the castle for a little bit. You make your way to the main keep area, since that's probably where anything would be going down. And you hear sort of mumbling and rattling of bones from one particular room. And as you make your way over it, you sure enough see a bunch of skeletons surrounding a person who otherwise seems to be living. Come on. Oh, hold on. Let me go back and grab your characters. I roll 20.
So we're outside of this room right now?
Yeah, just give me one moment.
That is
Hey,
a pile of skeletons?
Just corpses, cadavers. Hopefully they're not going to animate. Oh, fuck.
Hey, question for you, Viz. We're not gonna have to worry about your arm in here with this necromancer, are we? Because I'd hate to have to chop it off.
Well, I mean, it's been fine for a while, hasn't it?
We're going in with the necromancer. You have some kind of weird undead arm, you know? Just,
I'm sure it's completely unrelated to this.
if you start punching yourself in the face, do you want me to remove your arm?
Yeah, but hold on to it if possible. I don't want to completely lose it, you know? Maybe down the road I find someone who can reattach it.
Alright, understood.
Can you keep the necromancer a mystery so we don't know how many dice he has, or is that going to be spoiled for us?
I mean, as soon as he makes a roll, you're gonna know. Is the thing.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you're right.
And you can always GM roll it.
You
Yep.
could.
That's fair. Yeah. I could just do that.
Shit. Now we don't know. Thanks, man. Now we're fucked.
No.
You got 30 dice.
Alright, so whether or not any of you are skilled in stealth, which none of you are, by the way, definitely not Tolvir or Grok. Fortunately, the necromancer boy here is too concerned with his pile of skeletons to notice you. So you kind of have time to, like, sit out there, formulate a plan, or something or other, decide how you want to go about this.
Llama, you first, maybe?
I mean, I'm not good at coming up with plans. Usually I just take orders. But, I guess we could just kick this door in and start fighting. I mean, that sounds pretty good to me.
Wait a minute, weren't you a captain?
Yeah, if you read my backstory, though, I got promoted to captain, like, in my early 20s because I, saved a nobleman's son, and then never got promoted again after that. For the next 25 years. So long
Not
that
a very
people...
good captain.
Right. My name became captain because no one called me anything but captain. I don't even really remember what my name was.
Lord. Tragic.
It's one of those, like, whatever, you get the promotion to middle management, you basically get raised up to your level of competence, and then
No, raise one tier above your
one
level
tier
of
above your
competence,
level of
then
competence,
you're
right?
like Michael Scott.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I was a good soldier, not a great officer.
Tolvir?
I just want to bash their skulls in and get paid.
That sounds like a Tolvir thing to say.
I mean, I have a few questions for the necromancer, but I have no qualms with him ending this in the ground.
So Grok takes a step back and standing in front of the door, he kind of puts his hands in front of him and then lowers them up and down.
Okay.
He's trying to diffuse things.
This is
says-
really embarrassing. Give
What's
me
up?
a moment. There was something really important that Baron Cross forgot to tell you. So let's just act like he told you this. Baron Cross also wanted to let you know that the necromancer had stolen a family heirloom of his, and that he will pay you out of his own pocket if you manage to find that and return that to him.
Hey, Captain. Grok find letter on back of map. Can you read?
Okay, yeah, right. So I read the letter, and it tells us all about this family heirloom that was stolen.
Grok refuses to turn it up right side up while you're reading it, though, so you have to tilt your head.
Grok,
So then
you have the map upside down.
Grok, oh, thank you. And Grok turns the right side up. Someone finally told him. But afterwards, he's putting the map away, and he looks at you guys and raises his hands up and down. He says, "Let Grok do talking."
I don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, you are a librarian, so.
Yeah,
Too
seems
many
like the,
times I've seen
logical thing.
people. Too many times I've seen people talk about their issues, and it ends up with someone else dead. Let's just kill him anyway.
So rest assured, Grok will have plenty of time for club swing when talk done. Tolvir, no, Grok will not let you down.
Fine.
And then Grok doesn't pause. He doesn't wait for anyone to say if they're ready. He doesn't hesitate whatsoever. He just literally leans back, raises his foot, and kicks the door open and walks in 4 or 5 steps, staring at the necromancer. If the necromancer doesn't immediately turn around, he says, "Necromancer!" as loud as he can.
Hold on. The necromancer just kind of slowly turns towards you, and he kind of looks at you for a few moments, mumbling to himself, he clears his throat like he's getting ready for something. And then he says, "Who dares enter the lair of the necromancer Samedi?" And he's like super dramatic about it.
Grok cuts him off at lair, and he just starts talking again. Grok says, "Have you heard of word of Grok? Grok has come to parley with necromancer." And he's talking through his bone megaphone, so it's annoyingly loud.
The necromancer Samedi seems to clearly be losing patience very quickly, and he says something along the lines of, "Tell me what you want now, fool, or I will sick my minions on you."
Your head!
What was the artifact that the guy that the Baron wanted back?
Oh, it's going to be a like just kind of a silver plate with a ruby stone in the back.
Okay, whether Grok can see it or not, I'm actually gonna roll to see if he can describe it eloquently to the necromancer without completely fucking it up. I'm just gonna see. Just flip a coin here. 1 means he fudges it. Okay. Grok says, "We have come for the silver object of the barons. If we get it, we will leave peacefully."
I'm gonna pop
He
in
fully
real quick.
knows. He fully knows. People aren't gonna agree with that. But if people start coming over his shoulder, like try to walk past him, he'll stick his arms up as if to say, hold on a sec.
No, I'm just gonna step into the doorway behind you, and I'm gonna say, and also you need to stop attacking the town, because that was the other thing we came to do.
You got so blinded by pretty silver plates with gems, you forgot about stopping the attacks. Good job, Grok. Anyways, so the necromancer Samedi looks at you and he does the best evil cackle he can and says, "So you are the dogs of that Baron Cross, are you? You fools! You know nothing!"
Silver leans over to Captain while the necromancer is talking, and he's like, "I told you we shouldn't let him speak."
Can I
Yeah.
challenge him on his cackle? And mad scientist cackle back at him?
You can, though I'm not sure what sort of effect you're going for.
Oh, just
demoralize
embarrassment.
I'm not gonna make you lose dice. Necromancer Samedi is taken aback by your mad scientist
Shout
laugh.
out. You call that an evil laugh? This is an evil laugh.
Yeah, they're having a cackle off right now.
But yeah, so is there anything further Grok would like to say, or anybody else?
Grok, I think other than the cackle fight, Grok is still waiting for. He said the necromancer responded and said, "You know nothing."
Yeah. Okay. So for an actual response to Grok's question, I suppose, Necromancer Samedi says that. How is he going to want to word this? Give me one moment to think about how he's going to word this exactly.
It's not an easy question. Grok really goes for the brain teasers,
Samedi says that he refuses to give the object back to Baron Cross till Baron Cross gives him what he wants.
Grok hasn't lowered his arms yet. He still has them up, not really to keep people from passing. If they try, he would let them, but just kind of motioning for it. And he looks back at the necromancer and says, What does necromancer want?"
Necromancer wants this. You made him talk or you made me talk like Grok. Good job.
The religion
Enough
of
of the
Grok
conversation.
spreads.
I'll just say that actually happened though. Necromancer wants secrets of lichdom.
Captain, this needs to end. He's not gonna stop.
Well, I mean, he hasn't attacked us yet, Grok says in Grok tongue. What if Vis talked to Necromancer about secrets of necromancy and we just have a good afternoon with Necromancer? Maybe Necromancer would want not attack village anymore. And Grok points at his head like the fucking black guy in the meme.
I disagree. He must die!
Does the dwarf
Grok.
charge when he says that, or does he just scream it?
No.
Stationary.
He has to die. Grok, he's practicing necromancy. What is Grok religion?
Grok religion does not smile upon necromancy, but does not think less of
Exactly.
people who practice it. It is merely a sin.
He
Grok
must
no
pay
thinks
for
sinners
his sins.
damned. Grok thinks sinners bad.
He's a bad man, then you dare.
Grok no expect dwarf to understand intricacies of ethics.
What? Wait,
Tolvir, clearly his religion is a religion of peace.
wait,
Okay,
out of
we're done.
character.
The hell with this!
Out of character, do you mind combat here?
No, not at all.
Or would you actually want to talk it out? It's up to you.
Grok was trying to talk, but if somebody in character would want to just charge forward and start things, they can. Grok's not
Yeah.
going to stop them.
Samedi has lost patience as well and says, I have no time for fools! Anyways, Llama, your turn.
Oh, he has no time for fools. So this means battle's on. All right.
Battle is on.
I'm gonna attack this skeleton knight right here. With my longsword. I'm gonna try to knock its skull right off of its shoulders.
Okay. I sure hope he gets 3 6s in a row, otherwise.
Unlikely.
Unlikely indeed. Oh, well, actually, you can say you knocked his head off his shoulder, so because he's a skeleton, he can keep going.
Yes. Success.
Alright, and then next up we have, Tolvir.
As Tolvir charges past Grok, he's charging straight towards the Necromancer with his hammer in both hands, raised over his right shoulder, in a motion to strike down the Necromancer. And since he's drunk, he's not thinking very straight. He's gonna roll 46.
The Necromancer seems to be too busy cackling to notice the dwarf charging at him, and he takes it right on the skull.
Ouch. Ouch.
What an idiot.
He is still up though. So next up is Viz Techniker.
I'm gonna once again mix together a random concoction of chemicals and just chuck it at the back left archer.
Baller.
The archer attempts to be a badass and shoot it out of the air, but it just splashes on his skull and like melts the bone away. Alright, Grok, time to spread your religion of peace.
Grok raises... It's Roman Catholicism. Grok raises his bone microphone
religion
back
of
up to
peace?
his lips and shouts at the Necromancer that he is a fool, and that once we all focus on him, his skeletons will fall, just like his flawed thought process. Except he says it in Grug speak. I need to get on that. He's trying to demoralize the Necromancer, while also communicating a message to everyone that they should focus on the Necromancer.
Go ahead and roll, and if you succeed, then he will temporarily lose 1 dice.
That
And
sounds
you're
fine.
not at risk of taking dice damage.
Oh, did I do D4s? Shit, okay. Oops, 46. Alright.
Looks much better.
Double crit.
Yes, he he moves back a little bit, trying to like cower behind his chair, suddenly realizing that he's probably not in the best situation he's ever been in. Alright, it's time for the
the chair
NPCs.
just moved.
Yeah,
As he ran
sorry,
back, he stumbled into it.
I had to move it for a minute. Okay, so it's the NPC's turn, and this music is kind of annoying. Let me turn it down. Okay, so first thing Samedi is going to do is he is... One second. He motions over towards the pile of bones and raises a shambling skeleton out of it. It is obviously very weak, but it is still a skeleton.
So is it Captain's turn again?
No, the rest of the
yeah, it's the full
skeletons
NPC
have to go.
turn.
So the skeleton knight next to Captain is in fact going to attack Captain.
With his head on the floor next to him.
So go ahead and roll against that, Captain.
Yep, I'm doing it.
Yep. He apparently can't fight very well without his head and just kind of swings wildly.
And I chop off his arm with his shield.
So now he's just a one-armed, no-headed skeleton, desperately trying. The rest of the skeletons, since they don't have an immediate threat, they turn towards Tolvir. So first up is the skeleton knight. Good luck, Tolvir.
Big oof.
Alright, you take 1 damage to your warrior, cliche dice. And then the skeleton archer is after that. Alright, you win against the one on the right.
I'm not sure how to counter the archer right now, just other than upon seeing the arrow whiz past my face, I turn and just shoulder charge him straight into the wall.
He, his bones kind of crackle. Actually, no, his legs fall apart, but he's still, like, from the torso up, he's fine, so he's, like, trying to shoot you with a bow, like, from that position. And then the skeleton archer on the left is next.
God, these skeletons are bumbling idiots.
Sorry,
I guess-
go ahead, Tolvir.
I guess after the arrow passes over my head, since I'm only like 5 foot or 4'5", I grab my dagger and I throw it at the skeleton archer. Pretty much put my back to the other skeleton archer and just, I guess, the dagger lodges straight into the chest plate of the skeleton archer.
And he is dead. He collapses into a pile of bones. The magic animating him has left. And then the skeletal shambler that Samedi just animated is the last. And he's probably not going to do much better than anybody else. Yeah.
And then Tolvir just takes the hammer in his right hand and just backhands the skeletal shambler, and that's it. All she wrote.
That is indeed it. Alright, now it is indeed Llama's turn once again.
I'm gonna finish this skeleton knight off. He's missing a head and his left arm. So I'm just gonna try to like hit him in the chest and explode his bones everywhere. Which probably won't happen.
It will.
Oh,
because
actually, he only has
skeleton
one
item
dice,
has
yeah.
been- Yeah.
Bone explosion.
His bones go flying all over the room. Alright. Next up is our friend Tolvir.
After encountering all the skeletons, Tolvir decides to make another rush at the necromancer, and swinging with every ounce of himself. Very drunk, very angry now because the skeleton knight got the best of him. I'm gonna roll a 5d6 for the drunken, for being drunk.
That succeeds. You successfully land a hit on Samedi. You kind of oof him back into his chair a little bit. Right. And then next up is Techniker Viz.
So a quick question. Do we lose the combat, like are out if any of our cliches drop, or if all our dice are lost?
If any of your cliches drop to 0, you are out of combat.
Yeah, then I'm not going to do something really stupid. Well, in that case, then I'm going to, I guess I'm
Those
just
two
going to
still-
cast a Ray of Sickness towards the Necromancer and just attempt to sap some of his life. That is not the right thing. There we go.
Yep, that succeeds because you've been beating him down really hard. He is continually screaming in pain and fear as he realizes he is far outmatched. And now it is Grok's turn.
So instead of lowering the bone club from his lips, Grok holds it higher, slowly walking towards the necromancer and shouting across the room that he will fall, and his knights will fall, and his skeletons will clatter to the ground as soon as he fails, for there are 1 of him and 4 of us, and all the skeletons in the world could not possibly save him from the halls of justice. Except he says it in Grok speak, so it's something like, Grok, know you will fall with skeleton bones. Grok, know that your necromancy bad, and will fall like all bad things do. And at some point, if the necromancer doesn't do anything, Grok literally walks up 3 feet away from him and is pointing the bone club in his face and just shouting to subdue him if he can.
Go ahead and roll it. Roll,
Priest, I
Give us
believe.
the plate!
probably roll Priest, I would say.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Priest, so that's a 3.
Thankfully, like I said, you've been beating him down so much, he doesn't really have a chance to oppose that, so he's just like cowering up against the wall, his hands in front of his face, and says, "No, please don't hurt me! I'll call my skeletons off!" And the skeletons in question do indeed just kind of like drop their weapons. It's like, see, I promise! So you have subdued him. You may, of course, finish him off if you so like. I will not oppose that.
Grok attempts to grab him by the nape of his neck and drag him on his knees across to the door, the exit door.
You may easily do so.
Okay.
Yeah.
while this is going on, all the skeletons have dropped their weapons and are kind of maybe they're holding their arms up like, hey, not my fault, bro. I'm just following orders or some whatever. Do people look towards Grok as he's dragging this guy on his knees back towards the front door?
Yeah,
I'm watching intently.
Do any of you guys do anything?
I'm laughing.
I'm just gonna be waiting to see what happens.
Grok puts him on his knees by the door and faces back to you guys and says, "What should Grok do?"
The necromancer continually pleads for his life.
I mean, did the Baron say that we had to kill him, or just get him to
Make him stop
attacking the town?
was the verbatim was just make him stop attacking.
So, I mean, the other thing is, if we do get him to say that he is going to stop attacking the town, do we trust him?
He's a necromancer. He could have other bodies to transport himself to. He might be able to escape a prison, but if you look at the expression on Grok's face, he clearly wants to spare him. He is a very lofty, justice-oriented smile on his face right now.
Well, Grok, I know you're a man of religion, but I know men like this, and they will never stop until they fulfill their goals. And I'm gonna go up and attempt to just prick him on the shoulder with my infected arm.
It looks like you're gonna... Does it look innocuous, like it's not lethal? Whether it actually is lethal or not, does it look innocuous?
It looks like I just scratch him with my fingernail on the shoulder.
Well, Grok looks skeptically as you say that thing, but if it looks like you're just bapping on the shoulder, Grok still holding him doesn't really do anything.
Yep, then Samedi just kind of... Well, the only role I would have here is if Grok wanted to stop him, but if Grok's not stopping him, then Viz can go right ahead and do it. And Samedi just kind of collapses on the floor, eyes bulging out, tongue lolling out, and he's just...
Looking like fucking...
Viz,
Joffrey.
Grok, notice you do good job subduing him. Grok will take unconscious body in for questioning.
That's a good job, Grok.
Grok, does he have plate?
Let's go get our reward.
We have to
Does
find
he
the
have
plate.
Wait, what did you say?
We have to find the plate.
Oh,
With the red
Grok,
ruby.
Grok forget. Grok forget about the thing he specifically asked for.
For reference, the plate is just right up there on the altar. It's been sitting there all combat long.
I'm going to go grab it.
Oh, you just disappeared.
I went underneath the altar to get it, apparently. So I'm gonna go and just grab the plate in my hands.
Oh, also, as Samedi falls to the ground, the rest of the skeletons fall as well into a pile of bones. They are no longer animate.
Grok thanks unconscious necromancer for willingly having skeletons disarm fully. He says this out loud, of course. He doesn't actually thank him eloquently. He just says, Grok, thanks, and then the rest.
Hey guys, I got the plate. Let's go.
Alright, is there any further any of you would like to do here, or should we just head back to Barren Cross?
Oh, actually, I want to sit in this chair. It looks comfortable.
It is a very comfortable chair. It is extremely comfortable.
What
Nice.
is it made out of?
The outer layer is probably fucking silk or something, and the cushions are filled with duck down.
Can I take this chair with me?
It is rather large. It is half the size of a car. It is a large chair.
Ask for
Tolvir, help me carry this chair.
Carry it yourself.
Drinks are on me if you help me carry this chair when we get back to town.
You have a hard bargain.
All right, you you managed to lug the chair out somehow.
Yes.
I'm 4'5".
He just got it on his head.
when we get to the door, we do that thing that you do when you're moving and we can't get it through the door, so we're like trying to turn it the right way. I'm like, no, turn it on the other side. No, this way. Get it this way.
Crocs is just standing in the crux, like the inner crux of this angle in the doorway, and he's just looking at you like, does he have to move? But he's still holding this necromancer.
And if anyone's paying attention, this is just kind of muttering to himself. Fucking skeletons. Not close enough, doesn't match, not helpful. Fucking skeletons. It had to be skeletons.
I imagine Captain and Tolby were trying to get a chair as they did in Friends. With a couch.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Does anyone express a desire, whether openly or secretly, to explore the castle before we leave? Because Grok is kind of going to start walking towards the exit from whence they came.
How are you carrying the necromancer?
He's carrying him
Dragging
like you would carry a baby cat by the nape of his neck.
Dragging his legs?
Yeah, like his knees are just dragging on the ground, and Grok isn't paying attention, but they're probably getting fucking chafed to hell, rover now, from all the cobblestone, and Grok just did not notice at all. But then again, he doesn't know he's not breathing either, so.
Alright, so everybody's good to go back to Barren Cross. I will.
Sounds good.
Alright.
Yep. Wait, how does Baron Cross have the same chair?
We just gave it to him.
Okay, hold on.
Don't give away my chair, bro. This is mine.
I need to grab Samedi and bring him with.
Can we bring
And
my
the chair,
too?
don't forget the chair.
I've never had a chair before. I always just sat on the ground.
I'm bringing the chair with you, don't worry. See, there it is. There's your chair.
I'm just gonna sit in my chair while we're talking to the Baron.
So we put it down.
You should be on top of the chair now. Okay, so the Baron is quite happy to see you as you come in, though a flash of concern crosses his face as he sees you bring in Samedi along with you. As you how do you present Samedi to the Baron, Grok?
Ooh.
Grok idly tosses him at the feet of the Baron and says, one unconscious necromancer, Grok, get fresh for questioning.
Grok, I think he's dead. He's not moving.
Because I pricked him, can he just be decomposing a little bit faster than he should be at this point?
Yeah,
like
sure.
on top
There's
of like his legs being scraped to shit from being dragged, like.
As
there's
Grok
like
throws him, his arm
flies
comes
surrounding
off.
him, and he's starting to stink a little bit, and like the guards in the throne room just kind of like hold their noses and
Yeah,
stuff.
Grok just like picks his nose for a second and then looks down at the corpse and then looks up at the Baron and then looks down at the corpse again and he says, he just guffawed for a minute.
Cross seems relieved to find out that Samedi is in fact dead. He congratulates you like, great job, heroes, you've defeated the evil necromancer that has been attacking our town with his undead and stuff like that. And he looks back to Samedi's body and asks if this vile necromancer said anything in an attempt to plead for his life or some such.
Well, Grok accepted man plea for life. Man want Grok is like kind of breaking up. He actually seems kind of heartbroken. In fact, he seems very taken aback for some reason or another, and he can't really form a sentence actually.
And Mystic is gonna say, yeah, we accepted his surrender. I swear when we left the castle, he was still alive. I don't know what could have happened. We planned to give him to you as a prisoner.
Cross asks if I have to think about how he asks this. Give me a moment.
Grok snaps and looks to Vis and says, "You! Did you prick him with finger?"
I mean, what would that do? I just got a little bit of an infection.
Grok know of necromancy magic. You think Grok not read book? Grok read many book. Grok know of necromancy and dark magics and your evil infected magic arm or whatever it may be and the dark magics it may exude.
I am offended. I am a man of science.
Grok gestures to the corpse. Grok wonder why corpse decompose so fast, and then he tilts his head in the most exaggerated manner possible.
So Baron Cross asks if Samedi said anything that may have revealed the motivations for his evil attacks on the town.
Yeah, he said he wanted the how did he put it?
The
He
necromancy.
wanted to learn the secrets of lichdom.
Which is why he had your plate.
Okay, so let me think here.
Captain has the plate, right?
Yeah, Captain
Yeah, I
has
still have the plate.
Baron Cross acts very dramatically and says, "Necromancers, such petty reasons for enacting their dark magic. But you do have my family heirloom, correct?"
What was
Maybe.
it? I think, Captain took it. It might be in
Yeah.
Kelton's pocket. Grok looks
Yeah, I could-
expectantly at Captain.
I got it right here, and I take it over and I give it to him. And I compliment his chair when I'm over there. So I see you're a man of fine taste in chairs.
Something's
Cross-
going on here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with you.
hate
Something's
how
going on
you're-
here, but
I hate how you're forming the connection based on the fact that I used the same fucking model for their chairs.
Why does he want it? What does that plate do?
He takes the plate and nothing really happens, although he looks very confused at your complimenting of his chair. He also hands back a large bag filled with 400 gold coins, 100 for each of you for your services to the town and to him.
Where's my mead?
I distribute the
Now
gold
wait a
coins
minute.
to the
You said
rest
there
of the
would
party.
be an extra reward.
Oh yeah, good
Yeah.
point.
The Baron Cross looks a bit sheepish and is like, "Oh, of course," and he looks over towards the court magician, and the court magician pulls out another bag of. Is Tolvir just like lining up to get paid?
No, I'm lining up to react if they got something.
The court magician pulls out another bag with 200 coins and hands it off to Captain, and you get a 50% bonus for your services.
Okay, and then I go over here and I give everybody 150 coins each.
Grok examines the coins that were from the court magician, and he examines them very closely for some reason. Turning
They
on
are
his hand.
normal coins.
And then if Vis is anywhere nearby, Vis would feel a big green hand on his shoulder all of a sudden.
Hello there, big guy.
How tall is Vis?
Like 5'6".
So he's not like 7'2"?
No.
Okay, just checking in. Grok looks down at him then from above if Vis turns to face him and says, "You have control over life and death. Only Grok God does. You must understand that you are not arbiter of fate. You must leave fate to itself, and you are not to kill men, humanoid, red meat. Kill red meat. Especially not on
goblins.
Friday."
But we murdered goblins in cold blood.
Does
Grog-
anybody actually say that?
Yes.
Grok turns to respond and he says, "Goblin meat, not red meat. Goblin meat, green meat." And then Grok points at his head again.
Yeah, well, Grok is green meat too.
Grok no want kill Grok. Duh.
Grog God
So,
okay with kill Grog.
Tolvir, what do you say we get out of here and go grab a drink? Help me carry
I'm
my
very
chair over to the
suspicious
bar.
of Baron Cross.
Hi,
There's something up with him.
Who gives a shit? He paid
You're
us.
like 4 feet away from the guy.
Tolvir, are you
whispering.
saying that like out loud in character?
I'm kind of saying it in a hushed tone to the captain. Maybe Baron Cross can hear me, but I don't care because I'm a little inebriated.
Quick out of character question. How much longer do you boyos think you can go for?
I can go another 5-0.
I got nothing going on.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fine with me.
Don't mean to keep
In
you if
that-
you gotta go somewhere, Brain.
No. It's I'm considering how to move stuff around to try and get this all done properly.
If you ever want me to draw a setting, Roll20 lets me draw, and I could just whip up anything you really need.
No, it's fine. Okay, so as Tolvir is talking to Captain, but what are you?
So
I don't know.
he told me he's something weird is going on here, and I say, who cares? We got paid. We did the job. Let's get out of here. We got a chair. What do we need
You
to hang
have a
around here
chair.
for? Well, I mean, yeah, I got a chair. Good point. I told you I'd buy you a drink. Let's go do it.
I like this though.
So as the four of you are conversing, having some party banter, Baron Cross makes a big show of looking at his plate, like examining it very closely. And after a while, he turns and looks at you with this like very offended look on his face, and he shouts to his guards that he screams that the four of you are working with the necromancer, and that they need to draw swords and kill you immediately.
Wait.
He just
Wait.
paid us.
Wait. Why would we bring you a dead necromancer if we were working with him? And then I do the pointing at my head thing that Grok's been doing this whole time.
It's part of your plot, you traitors. He's probably not even dead, just waiting to rise again to assault my kingdom from the inside. Well, assault
Grok
my
say
Baron
Baron
from the
have
inside.
point. Necromancer can make a body from nothing. And then Grok holds his tongue after he realizes he's talking in favor of people killing
you're
him.
not supposed to help him.
Grok, sorry. Grok know too much.
I can assure you, Baron, we're not working with the necromancer at all. I'm not sure what the problem is here, but maybe we can help you fix it. I don't know.
How loyal do these guards look around him? Are they like seasoned professional soldiers standing at attention, or are they just village guards kind of relaxed?
Seasoned professional soldier standing at attention.
Like Grok looks ready to fucking take off and run.
Yeah, Viz is gonna start backing towards like one of the windows.
Yeah, if there's like an
And,
exit, Grok is going with him.
And can I cast like Animate Dead to just get the necromancer's body to start twitching? Like not totally animate, but just start twitching.
Oh my god.
This is a distraction.
Tolvir takes a step forward and unholsters hammer. It's like, you want to test us? You will end up like the necromancer.
Grok is holding his hands up like, not me, bro.
You may attempt to cast Animate Dead. Go ahead and just roll your wizard, and we'll see what happens. Well, hold on 1 second, and I'll get that.
You're gonna reanimate him like full strength, and we're gonna have to fight the necromancer and like Baron Cross or something.
Nah. I'm just trying to get his body to start like flopping around.
But who's to say you're not
Oh,
a
yeah, of
necromancer
course,
now?
It does indeed flop around. It even like stands up and waves its arms around, and Baron Cross points to Viz and is like, "I told you they are working with the necromancer.
I told you it was a terrible
Gets
idea."
them."
and once they start look over, I'm diving through the window.
Wait, how high is the place? Is this the first story?
It's like the 3rd story. It's like high up in the Baron's Keep.
You
I'm
didn't
diving
ask
through the
before you
window.
went, man. You just gotta go.
Changeling. Can you like shapeshift into like a bird or something?
No.
Oh god.
You can shapeshift into a lighter dude that takes less damage.
There's 3 stories. You really want to jump out?
It's too late now. You already did.
I mean,
Yeah,
three
we're gonna get
stories
grabbed unless you do
versus
something right now. Like this is an action moment. You gotta decide. Stay or go, because Grok is clearly going.
Yeah.
Is there anything to grab on the exterior? Because Grok actually runs up and tries to look over the edge, if it looks like he is any time at all.
It is not a smooth castle designed for defense. It is more of an aesthetic castle meant to project power, so there are plenty of like juts and stuff that you may use if you wish to climb around.
Realistically, could Grok juke the guard and try and do a little saddle hop over the edge and start climbing down as fast as he can?
Let me look at your cliches.
He's actually not that coordinated.
Yeah, I would say you would have to like default to like just a 2 dice roll.
Is
I'm gonna
feather
try that
falling
then.
a thing
I'm
I
gonna
could
try that.
cast?
Oh, Featherfall. That's a good idea.
Ah, shit.
Low fall.
That's average. That's average. Oh no.
Yeah. I'm not gonna make you. Should I make you? No, I'm not gonna make you take damage from that. But he does stop you from jumping out the window.
Can I push it? Can I take a risk for damage?
That
That would require 2 consecutive rolls, so I honestly have no idea what the actual rule for that is. But there was like some kind of option to roll for pushing dice, and I don't know if you want to do that or not. I think I have to call that ahead of time, actually.
Yeah, like the pumping up.
Pumping, yeah.
Where are the exact rules on it? It's only. It's only a single dice, so you would get 1 more dice, and the most you can do is tie.
Yeah, I think I need to call it ahead of time anyways. Maybe next
Yeah.
time. Maybe next time. Grok is in trouble now, Grok says out loud.
So, situations like this are always awkward for me as a GM because I don't want to bullshit you too much or like railroad you. I want to give you the option of just jumping out of the windows and skipping dodge and completely going past this like boss fight I had intended for you.
Captain,
Well, I can tell
this
you,
is for your
Captain's-
chair.
Captain's not jumping out the window.
This is for your chair, Captain.
What?
This is for your chair.
Oh yeah, I'm not jumping out the window.
We carried it from the other fucking castle.
Right. I'm not leaving my
I
chair.
will fight for it.
Okay,
Viz is
so-
jumping, and he's gonna try and cast Featherfall on the way down, but once he realizes that other people aren't following him, he's gonna start slowly climbing back up, being like, guys? I'm gonna say he's gonna miss at least the first round of combat.
Yeah, let's. That's probably a good way to put it. Just say that Viz is not. He skips his first round, and this is not as good of boss fight music as I wanted it to be. Okay, so are we all okay with combat here then?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Okay, and do you see the nameplates for all of the enemies?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Except, yeah, I can see them all.
Okay. Then let's start with Llama. You are surrounded by a bunch of royal guards and a court magician that are out for your blood because some rando said you were working with necromancers, and your wizard gave him all the evidence he needed.
So I'm gonna, sigh.
Wait, well, 1 second. Okay, this one right here, he like kicks over your chair.
Ooh.
What the fuck?
Now I'm pissed. Ah!
It's
Yeah,
gonna
so-
be this guy.
I'm gonna take away the sigh because I was gonna be reluctant, but now I'm angry that he kicked over my chair. I've never had a chair before in my life. I'm used to sleeping on the ground, and I'm just gonna rush at that guy and attack him. And I'm gonna say, "That was my chair you kicked over." I'm gonna swing my sword at him.
If somebody can grab the Baron, maybe we could do something. I mean, this is very stacked against us. We gotta think on our feet.
I'm drunk and angry.
Got him.
That was close.
He almost parries your blow, but he's too staggered from kicking over your chair, so you get a hitting easily.
Damn right I do.
Alright, Tolvier.
Filled with drunk and anger of being accused of working with a necromancer that I pretty much just single-handedly slayed. With my hammer right hand, I reach across my body, grab it with my left hand, and then swing in an uppercut motion at Baron Cross.
I like how you had to throw in that you single-handedly slayed.
Practically.
Quick question: does it look like the Baron is trying to run or stay and fight himself?
It looked like he was going to try and like hide behind one of his guards while they dealt with you. Wait, 66?
Drunk
Is
warrior.
that from the drunken thing?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That works fine with me then. So yeah, you swing him pretty hard, and he goes up in the air from the uppercut and lands down on the stone elevated floor very hard.
With my maces still, with my hammer still in the air, raised above my head with both hands, I just let out a scream, just. "Ah!"
Alright, so Viz is skipping his turn because he's currently floating outside of the window. So it's Grok's turn.
Ah, jeez. What the hell does Grok do? With his encyclopedic knowledge of throne rooms and whatnot. Grok sprints up to the Baron and attempts to actually grapple him in some manner. No knowledge could help him with this, so he's just going to, let's see.
Go with a 2d6 roll.
Yeah, I'll go with the default. Okay, there's a chance.
Alright, so you managed to grab onto Baron Cross and you have him in your hands.
I'll try and put him in a full Nelson, and that's it, pretty much.
So where
He's
did
told.
Baron Cross land?
Like right there. You have him in a full Nelson. He's like half conscious from the blow that Tolvier delivered to him, and he's just like really out of it.
Okay, if Grok has any time to get a word in, he also shouts to the guards in the most powerful voice he can muster that, "Stop, I have the Baron! Grok make you stop, he has Baron now."
Grok is despite being a very inarticulate half-orc, apparently has the highest int score in the party. As the guards, they notice the situation of Baron Cross currently being held hostage by a orc with a giant bone club, and they drop their swords and shields to the ground. And the court magician, who was preparing some sort of spell or whatever, just kind of stops doing that. And yes, Baron Cross is currently in your hold, Grok, and combat has ended for now. How would you like to proceed?
Grok kind of motions at everyone to come over by him first and foremost. Not like everybody, just the party. He's waving his hand.
Okay, I'm gonna go over first and make sure my chair's okay. And I'm gonna stand it back up so it's right. And
Just like gently, just gingerly squat down and just.
Yep. And nobody can hear, but I say it's all right. I won't let them hurt you anymore. And then I walk over here.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm
I have
assuming
enough time
V's,
to-
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb in the window. I kind of like scurry across here, and then break this window and kind of hold the necromancer's
preparation.
body as a body shield.
Okay, so Grok takes his bone club and actually he rests it on the Baron's shoulder, and at first it looks like he's going to smack him in the back of the head, but very quickly, just half a second or so, it's evident that he's going to use it as a fucking megaphone again. He starts addressing the room. Grok says, Grok has Baron. Grok now ask any question he wants now. Grok ask, Baron, why you frame us? We know necromancers. We know bad. Grok no, Grok good. What you do this, why you do this for? And he stands, assuming the Baron can somehow piece together that verbal spaghetti and give him some kind of answer.
Baron Cross looks around the room, kind of takes in the situation, and he lets out an evil laugh, much more practiced than the one Necromancer Samedi attempted to give you. Yeah, big spoiler twist, Baron Cross is a bad guy, as if you all hadn't seen that coming for an hour now. Anyway, so yeah, Baron Cross, he lets out an evil cackle, and he answers Grok that he needs to make sure that nobody has the knowledge of his true identity. And with that, Baron Cross kind of like starts glowing with with evil energy, and even the guards and the court magician aren't sure, seem to like not really be sure what to make of it. And let me get a good asset for this.
Grok immediately releases him as soon as there's any sort of evil glowing, and then Grok brushes his hands off on his tunic desperately, like he's trying to get some goop off of him.
Solvier, in preparation for whatever Baron Cross has prepared, just raises his hammer with both hands again over his right shoulder, just ready to swing at Baron Cross. Almost as if he was playing baseball and thought to hit a home run.
Like I said, I just need to find a good asset for this. I hadn't anticipated this coming this soon. I guess this will work. It's not the best.
Grok is good with
Grok
words,
found
even though
good
he's not good
solution
with
to
words.
problem. Yes, Grok's so smart.
I like how you're like our high charisma. You said you don't really have high charisma, but you can barely talk, but you're the one that does all the speaking.
Grok
And
read lots of
convincing.
books. Grok
right.
used Reading Rainbow as kid.
Oh shit! What is this thing?
So,
It's fucking chain demon. Fuck.
it's the best thing I could find. So Baron Cross kind of like, he glows with dark energy, and his body starts to bulge unnaturally. And he grows. This is supposed to be like a giant zombie skeleton lich monster thing. And he grows into that, and he screams. And he kind of like reaches the top of the throne room, and he screams in a guttural, not really human voice that none must know his secret. and combat starts.
Is that including the Royal Guard and the Court Magicians? They can't know his true nature either?
Yeah, they start rushing towards the door because they've never seen this, and unfortunately for them, the door is locked somehow, barred or whatever, and they're trying to like break it down as as Baron Cross turns into this giant like lich monster thing, bent on tearing everybody apart.
Pre-combat, can Grok attempt to ascertain the threat level of this man just from sight? Would he ever have read about anything like this whatsoever, or be able to assume whether they could take it down or whether they have no chance?
It is
fine, I don't
very
know.
powerful, but it is not completely impossible for a group of 4 pucky adventurers to handle.
As the guards start to run towards the door, Tolvir yells at them, "Stand and fight!"
Just as you're saying that, this is kind of like looking at the group and kind of like looking back at the window, looking at the group, looking back at the window.
You fucking coward!
Does Vise look towards Grok?
Yes.
Grok raises his bone club above his head and charges. Not the window.
Wait,
the
charges at
block.
Vise or at the Baron Cross monster?
At Baron. No, not at Vise.
Okay.
Not at Vise. Not at the window. At the Baron.
I would have laughed if he said the door.
Charges at the door like, fuck this, I'm out. This is a really short loop of the song, but Tolvir, if you want to try to like galvanize the guards, I'll take the battle-worn veteran role, but not with drunkard or anything like that. So just a standard 4d6. Right, that's pretty good. You managed to get the court magician and 2 of the royal guards to turn around and fight.
We have help. We might have a chance.
Yeah, numbers are really good in this system because you can wear them down way faster. We have a chance.
So I'm gonna move towards him and start attacking. Can I do that?
Llama's first. Oh,
That is
yes,
Llama.
yes.
Good,
You
yes.
are Llama, I'm sorry.
Captain,
I don't
you were an
recognize voices
officer.
either.
So Captain starts hacking at him with his sword.
Okay, give me one moment.
I mean, hacking at it. I don't want to assume this lich's gender. Excuse me, Lich, what's your pronoun?
Lich.
Lich, please.
I identify
That
as
does
Lich
not
kind.
succeed. He, one of his bony arms just kind of like knocks you back a bit.
So I lose one of my die, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay. All right.
And also its pronouns are lich, liches, lichy.
Okay.
How big is this this lich?
It reaches the top of the throne room, and the throne room is like pretty tall. More like 20 feet. It's like 20 feet tall. It's pretty big.
I'm a quarter of the size. Ugh.
Okay, I'm gonna find a song that doesn't last 20 seconds.
I don't know. This is
Find
kind of
one
my
that
jam,
lasts
you
10
know?
seconds.
Yeah, the last 5 seconds of that 20-second loop were my favorite.
But it is Tolvir's turn now.
I think I left my dagger back at the necromancer's place too.
Whoops.
Fuck it. I'm gonna run towards the lich and attempt to use the chair as a platform for me to jump off of and try to attack as high as possible on the lich.
you know, there is a rule somewhere in here about giving you a bonus for doing something really cool. And since I find that idea really cool, I'm going to give you a bonus. I just have to find out where it is. Probably just take another 1d6 for free for that one attack.
This 5d6.
Yes. You can use your drunkard here. In
76.
addition. Alright.
Those are really low numbers.
That's okay because it still hits. Your hammer like shatters a bunch of bones and they all go like flying around the throne room. And the Baron Cross Lich Monster kind of lets out a deep howl of pain and makes some suitable evil overlord comments about pathetic insects or whatever. Anyways, so next up is Grok. Grok,
Alright.
is this an abomination to your god?
Grok think this no can be good. So
Oh
Grok
no,
will take it
Viz,
down
you
himself.
were only skipping the first. Sorry, Viz, you were only skipping the other combat. I'm sorry. It's your turn now.
Alright, well, Viz is still not terribly confident that we can defeat this thing, so he's gonna do the unthinkable, and he's gonna call it to Grok's god and ask for forgiveness and attempt to resurrect the necromancer.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. I will consider a bonus since you're already like halfway there with the original reanimation. I will consider that good enough because of how well you rolled on your last one. So Samedi finally stops flailing around and like actually comes fully back to life. But he seems to be missing a few brain cells, and he just kind of like looks over at Viz.
And most of his left arm.
and
his legs are
a few
fucked.
other parts.
He can't walk. I don't know if he can walk. He's got the little bit of chafing going on.
The permanently crippling injury.
So he looks at Viz, groans a little bit, then looks over at the Baron Cross monster and groans and starts shambling over towards it aggressively. So congratulations, Viz, you are now a necromancer.
Hell yeah.
Power
okay, anyways.
absorption.
And Viz, if you play this right, you might become a lich after this, you know?
Oh no.
No. Grok no like that.
I
Well.
was trying to cure people.
Well,
Yeah, what's up?
you have the PDF open? For the
Yeah, right
rule
now.
sets?
What's up?
Look at advanced option lucky shots, like the last sentence.
The last sentence.
Lucky shots can represent random good luck, the favor of a deity, a streak of resourcefulness, etc.
Yeah.
Favor of a deity.
You garner more
Strike
favor from Grok's deity than Grok does.
No, you.
Oh, no. I don't have any luck actually assigned. I have just normal skills. Maybe I'll re-scramble Grok skills after this session. Who knows? I don't know if that's
A
possible or
single
not. But yeah,
leash
there's no luck for
Die
Grok just
can
now.
instead buy 3 lucky shots.
But Grok, go ahead. It is
Yeah, that's it.
now
That's
your
character
turn.
creation is what you're talking about. But Grok can pump his dice if he wants, and Grok will. Grok, being as resourceful as he is, and knowing so much about not only healing procedures, but also specific healing procedures, takes a piece of cloth that was inexplicably held under his loincloth that is, and attempts not to bandage the wounds of the Great Baron, but to actually fix him to the floor with them, almost painfully.
Wait, what?
He's taking a
confused.
bandage, he's jumping on the nearest protrusion from the Baron, and he's trying to tie him up onto the floor.
Okay, Go ahead, and that's not going to deal damage to him. If you attempt something like that, it will it will give him a malice, but it won't do proper damage.
I have no idea what a malice is, but I'm doing it, inappropriate or not, and I'm gonna pump it with one dice.
It's like the opposite of a bonus.
Sounds good to me. It sounds good to Grok.
Yeah, sound good to Grok. Go ahead and roll it. If you fail, you won't take damage, but he's not going to take damage either way.
Okay, I'm still gonna lose one for the pump, by the way, but I still want to do the pump. So that is, it would normally be 2d6, now it's 3d6.
Right, he rolls. No, no.
He rips through the bindings and Grok's frowns.
Okay, so I'm gonna have, let's have Baron Cross go first. Since Tolvir is the one that dealt the most, is the one that dealt the only damage to him last turn. He's going to turn to attack Tolvir. Just go ahead and roll, and then I will roll his attack in secret.
With my...
Tolvir deals damage to him once again. Tolvir has been doing work. But yeah, Baron Cross tries to swing at him with a skeleton arm, and it just kind of misses the tiny little dwarf.
Tolvir takes another swing at the Lich.
And it hits, of course, and breaks away more bones. Next up is the Court Magician, who, in shock at his Lord Baron guy turning into a giant bone monster, he conjures up a channel positive energy spell and hurls it at the giant Baron Cross monster.
Whoa, holy shit.
The channel positive energy beam slams right into the undead monster and just sears away some of the bones. This thing is not as strong as I thought it was gonna be. Next up is the Royal Guard. Royal Guard cuts off a skeleton arm.
Oh shit, this might be the end of the Baron.
Okay, so I want all four of you to give me an attack roll, and whoever rolls highest can finish off the Baron.
Ooh. Ooh, Captain, my Captain.
Alright, Captain, you've got a very heavily injured giant skeleton golem bone monster thing screaming in pain in front of you, screaming about how he's going to crush all of you puny insects. And you notice that the plate that the Baron asks you to gather seems to be the core of the monster, and the ruby on the back of it is shining with the dark energy.
So I stab my longsword straight into the Lich, aiming for the ruby on the back of the plate that's glowing.
And your sword slams into it and shatters the ruby, and Baron Cross lets out one more howl of pain before the bones that constitute his megalich body just fall all over the throne room. And his And after the dust settles, it's just a lot of bones. His human body is nowhere to be found. The court magician and the guards are just looking on in awe. Necromancer Samedi is just kind of standing there, undead. groaning like a zombie. And yeah, like I said, I don't remember combat balance for Risus, so that went a little different than I had imagined it.
I'm glad we got the guys to help. Where shouting for help was a good idea.
So, Tolvir, what do you say about that drink, huh?
Let's go. Bring your chair.
Oh yeah, can't forget the chair.
There's another chair there if anybody wants it.
I stepped on it. I don't want it.
A chair for Captain and Tolvir and a chair for Viz and Grok. Works out.
So everything disappeared from the Baron. The Baron's disgusting body is gone completely, or is there a mess of chains and gunk?
There's a mess of bones. I was trying to find like a bone giant thing, but that's the best I could find. So it's just a bunch of bones. Like hundreds of bones.
Grok takes one then. He takes one bone and he puts it, slides it alongside his belt and kind of ties his loincloth a little tighter so it's stuck to him.
Alright, well, the royal guards and the court magician just kind of like stare at his body and they start talking about like how to explain this to the villagers and all that stuff, but it's all very boring political stuff that I'm sure a bunch of head bashers like you aren't too concerned about.
Definitely not.
There's drinks to be had and chairs to be sat in.
In a windstorm that suddenly starts moving everyone.
Didn't mean to do that.
It's all good.
So we're gonna take my chair and I can't touch my chair anymore. Thank you. Take the chair and we're gonna go grab a drink.
Hey, is the door unlocked yet?
Yes, the door magically unlocked after the Baron was defeated.
Huh?
Come on, chair. Let's go.
Come along, chair. Don't get left. Oh my god.
The chair starts barking and like hopping after you.
Yep. I'm not touching that chair ever
Accidentally animated the chair. It was an animated necromancer chair all along.
I already.
Grok has only one thing to take care of before he can join you at the tavern. He must bury and mourn the dead. And Grok grabs the dead necromancer animated by the cuff of his collar again and starts dragging the still animated corpse away to bury it alive. To bury it dead? To bury it alive dead, whatever.
What about the lich? You're gonna bury the lich too?
He took a bone. That's all he needs.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna follow and participate in the funeral.
I updated my character sheet to include a cool purple chair in my inventory.
It's carried everywhere. So is that it? Is that a wrap?
That is a wrap. So good. I enjoyed it tonight. I know there were some fumbling and stumblings, but I hope everybody else enjoyed it as well.
It was fun.
So while we have 13 minutes or so, I did want to ask with because the reason I chose Risus is because it's kind of a baseline system. It's basic. What sort of, if we were to do a full campaign, if you were to join me for a full campaign, what sort of mechanics would you want to see in an RPG system, and like where would you want to see like complexity show up in terms of the RPG system? Starting with Llama, since you're at the top. Is there like anything specific you look for in a RPG system?
No, just, I mean, as long as we have a good time, as long as it's fun, you know?
Yeah.
I
concur. More chairs.
Sound muted.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it there real quick. Hope you all enjoyed watching VOD or live. Always DM me on Discord if you have any questions. This was just a one-shot night with Miss Brand problems. Very fun stuff. Maybe it'll go into a full campaign. We'll see.